And we're live. And we're live. Hello, everyone. This is a casual, laid back chit chat. Me and Tharium. It's Saturday night. We're just going to sit down. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about everything that has been happening. It's been a long time since I've done a live stream. It's been about 6 months, I think. So we're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about Epping. We'll probably talk about reform, what's been going on with Rupert Lowe. We'll probably talk about the Afghanistan thing. And then we'll probably segue over to America and we'll talk about Trump. We'll talk about Epstein and we'll talk about all that stuff. Just a general laid back kind of catch up of what's been going on. First of all, though, Epping. So I'm very, very, very excited about this because for me, this seems like a great turning point. This is one actually genuinely, this is one of the most exciting things I've seen in the 10 years that I've been on the internet, because here we have a situation that not only are the British people protesting, but they are protesting and they won because the government backed down and they closed down the hotel and they moved the asylum seekers out. And not only have they won, but the protest is now spreading across England, because I'm sure if you've been on Twitter, you've seen there's different protests going here and there around the country. And it seems to me like the British public have just suddenly realized, oh, actually, do you know what? We can come out and protest and the government will back down and we can win by protesting alone. And there's a little bit of violence, but not much. It's actually genuinely like, it's a mostly peaceful protest, funny enough. So this is absolutely fantastic. This thing is going to spread across the country. It's being driven forward by local people. I watched Sargon on the Lotus Eaters last night. He had Tommy Robinson on for a guest. And, when this whole thing kicked off, my number one worry was that Tommy Robinson was going to go there. He was going to get involved. And then it's no longer about local people and mothers and fathers worrying about their children. Now the whole thing's going to be about Tommy Robinson and his drunken supporters getting into a fight and blah, blah, blah. But apparently, Sargon sat down, had a chat with him and said, mate, just do not go to Epping. Let the locals do this, sort it out for themselves. So he stayed away. And apparently a lot of other groups, Britain First, what have you, they've also very wisely stayed away. I mean, this is like a new level of maturity in right-wing politics in England. People are realizing, yeah, it's bad optics. We're not going to go there. We're not going to get involved. We're going to cheer them on the internet, talk about it on the internet, but we're going to let the locals deal with this themselves. And that's what people have done, and it's been very, very successful. And I'm very happy. I'm really happy. So I mean, what's your take, Tharium?
Well, the fire rises, doesn't it?
Yeah,
at last. I don't think everything isn't going to collapse yet, but it's the start. And I don't know, you said it's non-violent, which kind of is, but the threat of violence is there.
Yeah.
And that's why they have the armies of police. And so, like, the idea that violence never solves anything, well, history says otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we saw, and it's one of the interesting things was, I saw a lot of people saying it's not about race. It's not about race. So you are noticing, though, right? They still got that normie programming, but they're noticing all these things.
Well, it does all seem to be white people out protesting.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm told by the gay right wing that there's tons of great patriotic based diversity. Where?
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's not happening. It's white working. I don't even know if it's working class. I think it's middle class. I think it's all classes of people. To be honest with you, it's old and it's young. But it's just white people, white family people, men and women out in the streets.
A lot of women.
And a lot of women.
Yeah, which is good because then they can't dismiss it as just like thugs, like just thugs who just want to fight, because it's clearly not.
Yeah, it's the mum brigade. I mean, I'm trying to remember this post on Twitter. Something popped up early on the year, but there was like some working class mum in some part of the country, and somebody filmed her, and she's just absolutely losing her mind. She's like, just these people are following my fucking kids home. This needs to be sorted. And it's like and I remember commenting on it. I said, once you start pissing the mums off, right? Once you got to, because women in general are not really political, right? But once you get to the point where you start pissing the mums off, you've got a really big problem on your hands, because that maternal instinct is going to kick in, and they're not going to shut up. And women have a tendency to get what they want. And I think this is what is happening now. I think perhaps in the background, a lot of mums are just telling their men that they've got to go out and protest, and they're certainly a driving force in this. And it's very difficult for the establishment to shut it down when you've got, you got women. They just want to protect their children. This is fucking insane. Like the government's just like, yeah, we're going to bring these violent foreign men and we're going to put them in your town, and we're going to pay for them to stay there. And you're just going to have to put up with it. And if some of your kids get assaulted, you're just going to have to tolerate it. I mean,
they've been enriched. You should be grateful. They've been enriched.
It's just, I don't even think George Orwell could have thought this up. Like, it's so like Looney Tunes absurd. It's so fucking absurd. That people have like snapped out of their trance, and they're just like, no, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Just fuck off. Absolutely fuck off. And that's what we're seeing up and down the country. And
they like I say, it's spreading. Even in the Canary Wharf, where they're planning on moving the Epping lot to. And that's a rich multicultural area. They're even coming out going, no, fuck this. No, that's supposed to be in the poor areas. Why are you doing it here?
Isn't Canary Wharf near Millwall? It's been a while since I've been to London, but I'm pretty sure it's sort of in a similar. It's close by, isn't it? I think it is.
It's by the river.
Yeah. Millwall is by the river, isn't it? I think it's relatively close to Canary Wharf, so I don't know. Maybe the Millwall crowd will kick off. Hello, Bob Altberger. You still in Germany, mate? But
remember that Green councillor who came out with the curly hair? That woman who's
yeah. That was awesome. Yeah, that was a great.
Yeah, she was in the Canary Wharf, and is doing her usual crap about, they've come so far. We need to help them, and then just some South FC guy, shut up, you stupid fucking cunt. And she clutches her chest. Just terror. They need to, like, that lot, they need to know terror again. Because no one's ever pushed back against people like her. That's what she's used to.
Yeah, she's used to everybody being nice. And she's, because obviously she's from a middle-class background. And she's used to nice people like agreeing with her and saying, oh, yes, we have to, be nice to everybody has to be nice to everybody else, and we all have to hold hands and help everyone, and everyone should love it. It's just like this naive middle class bubble that she obviously lives in. And somebody like that from that kind of background, she's probably never been shouted at, right, with any kind of real aggression.
Even like her parents disciplining her would have been, go sit on the naughty step.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We need to sit down and have a serious conversation about your behavior. There's that kind of thing. Like, no one's ever, which is fine, by the way. Like, I'm not against, I don't think women in general should be shouted at. It's nice to have soft, gentle women, but when they get their heads full of like a bunch of, stupid political shite,
you need someone to shout it out of them.
It is an interesting point that you raised this at, though, because I remember, what was it, like a month ago when Rachel Reeves was crying?
Yeah.
There were some people on the internet. I remember Sargon, and I remember well, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. One other internet comment. They were saying how they felt sorry for her, and people were like what? What? You feel sorry for her because she's crying? I don't know. I think there's still like a few soft-hearted people out there that.
Yeah, I mean, Sargon is too nice for his own good sometimes, I think. Like, he always tries to see the best in people. And yeah, but like, she doesn't deserve any sympathy.
She doesn't deserve any. I mean, I like Sargon. I think one of the reasons he's a great leader is because he is so soft.
Yeah.
And he's he's done a brilliant job in uniting all kinds of people across the dissident right, because a lot of people in the dissident right, like me, very cantankerous and a little bit aggressive and brick-headed and get into arguments with people. And so Sargon, being the massive softy that he is, I think has been very good in general. So I'm not really faulting him for it, but I'm just pointing out, it's just like really, you feel sorry for her, Rachel Reeves? Like, yeah. Jesus Christ! I mean, if I was prime minister, I'd just throw her in prison. I mean, she's just a commie scumbag. That's all she is.
Yeah. As soon as she started crying in that prime minister's questions, the pound, the value of the pound, just started dropping. It's just everyone thinking, oh, the chancellor's crying. Oh, stuff must be really bad then.
Yeah, it's a great example of how leaders should be stoic. You gotta just, I mean, a little bit of emotion, I suppose, but you can't show weakness because it creates all kinds of problems.
Yeah, it should be anger. That's all you're allowed to show. Anger at the enemies.
Yeah, anger, a little bit brooding. You can be jolly. You can crack a joke. Trump cracks a few jokes every now and again. But you wouldn't see him crying. Like,
yeah,
the closest he got to any kind of frustration was with the whole Iran-Israel thing, when he came out and said they ain't got a fucking clue what they're doing. It's just like, Trump, yeah. That was kind of good. But that wasn't crying. That was just aggression. That was just like a frustrated aggression. Like, these people are fucking idiots, Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, Rachel Reeves, what a fucking moron. Yeah, we just got to steamroll the left. I mean, the police have invited these people in.
Yeah,
we've got videos of that. They've come in with their banners.
Do you see the how they tried lying about that? The police. They said, no, we never escorted anyone, and that lasted about 2 days, and they had to admit, yeah, you caught us. It just made it all worse.
Yeah, and they were getting into the police vans.
Yeah,
and they were calling them buses. They were like, "Oh, we're getting into the bus." You're not getting into a bus. You've literally been moved. Like, the police have brought you in police vans. You are a police. It's like they basically work for the police.
Well, some people. I saw some people looking up the faces, and there's quite a few actors in there, and some people who've done stuff with the police before. Oh, surprise, surprise. There does seem to be less of them, though, and of course, USAID got shut down, and that was likely funding a lot of this shit. And now they don't. Now they can't pay so many people.
It does, it does make you wonder how much of a renter mob they really are. Do they get like 50 quid? They get 100 quid? Come protest?
I think it's something like that. I saw in America a few months ago, they had some of those anti-immigration stuff. And one person was just saying, I'm being paid $100 to come here for the day or something.
Right.
It's just how it works.
Just incredible.
And it is good seeing how outnumbered they are. And all these places with their little stand up to racism signs now.
Yeah, it does seem to me like the whole thing. I said this on Twitter, but the whole thing seems to me like it just reminds me of lockdown. It reminds me of that, because when we first had the lockdown in 2020, it was kind of scary, you know. It's like all of a sudden people are wearing masks. We've got to queue
Mm-hmm.
up to get to Tesco's. There's nobody outside. You're not allowed to walk outside. They're sending drones after people,
Yeah.
going for a walk in the countryside, and they're taking photos of them and putting them on the front page of the news. You know, it was like, whoa, like this is a totalitarian authoritarian state we now live in. This is psychotic. So it was a little bit scary. And I think it took everybody, like, put everybody on the back foot a little bit. And then what happened is over time, people just started breaking the rules, and this happened and that. And then finally, of course, we came out of lockdown, and then they tried to put us back in lockdown, and nobody really took it seriously, you know. And then the whole thing collapsed because the power of the state, people could see through it, that it was just like a bunch of bullshit, and people were just like, yeah. And it very much feels like a similar thing is happening now. Like, we had the Southport riots last year, massive violence. I mean, we were covering it on the Anglo Gang. We talked about it as it happened. Massive violence started to spread, and then the government kicked in. The Muslims came out. I mean, as far as I remember, that's what really shut it down, because the Muslims came out with their machetes and this and that and the other, which people seem to have forgotten. But it got shut down. People got thrown in jail, and everyone was like, "Whoa, you know, this is the Labour government we live under now." But somehow now it's like, I don't know. It feels like the second lockdown.
Yeah.
It feels like people are out, they're protesting, and it's like, well, you know, you already punched us in the face once, and then you didn't knock us out, and we're still fighting, and it seems like people aren't scared anymore. It's like, is that the best you can do? Is that the best you can do? Like, throw some of us in jail for tweeting? Is that all the government's got? Like, what else are you going to do to us? Do you know what I mean? They're just they've had an interaction, an alteration with the government, a serious one. The government's punched them back. They've gone, whoa, that was a bit bad. And then the British public have just picked themselves off the floor and thought, actually, do you know what? That's fucking nothing. Let's fucking go. Let's have another crack at this. And it seems to me that's what's happening now.
Well, I mean, all the anger from the Southport is still there, and just getting worse and worse. And I mean, the prisons are full. So where are you going to stick us, huh? It was just you could never contain it. I saw some people saying, "Oh, Starmer's fierce crackdown at Southport has made sure that people won't ever get uppity again." Obvious nonsense. Especially for the English. We're a very fighty people. We fought more wars than any other nation ever.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't chimp out, though. That's the thing. We don't chimp out. It's more of a steady thing. It's like, you know, we think about it first. Do you know what I mean? But generally speaking, like, once we make our minds up to do something, then you got a big problem on your hands. You know what I mean? It's just taken us. I mean, it's like the poet. Everybody keeps quoting the Kipling poem, but I think he did really, really nail it, that we are slow to anger. But once you've genuinely angered us, you got a big fucking problem on your hands. And I think this is what's happening now.
Yeah, I mean, like, this isn't chimping out about tax rates or something. And this is the mass rape of our children by foreigners. You know, it's a bit bad. And we sort of, a lot of patience, giving them time to sort of fix things. But they haven't. They've just made things worse. They doubled down on importing everyone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which also, of course, we had the Afghan cover up, which was, I think, part of this. Made people angry again. Remember that?
Yeah, that was like a week. People aren't really talking about it anymore because they're talking about the Epstein thing. But yeah, it was.
But I think it helped fuel the anger that kicked this off. Because this was the supposed interpreters and their families who were on a list that was emailed to the Taliban. I don't believe this. Like, is it easy to just email a list of everyone who's applied as saying they were an interpreter with you? Just email that to Taliban@gmail.com. Yeah, I don't think so. But The Taliban had this list. They didn't care, but our government thought, oh, get them all in. So there's about over 200,000 of these child rapists and their families coming over, and yeah, and then they put out an injunction forbidding anyone from talking about it in the press.
Yeah,
which is mad. It's just so you just hate us because you knew no one would be up for this.
Yeah,
and they apparently even some sold, because a lot of them seem to have been kept on MOD land and in housing, and some of our actual soldiers have been kicked out of housing for these these Afghans. Just like, what a betrayal.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was listening. I was just posting this thing on Twitter, but yeah, it's oh God, yeah. What can I say? What can we say about this? Just initially, I wasn't even that shocked, to be honest with you.
It's what you expect. Yeah,
what do you expect? It's just like, so I was kind of surprised that people got so angry about it. I was just like, oh right, really? The government's led it, like. Yeah. Like, we've got hundreds of thousands of these people coming in the country, and I just couldn't. I was scratching my head thinking, like, you're upset about 20,000 people. Like, I mean, I don't get it. Like, we've probably had 100,000 illegals already crossing the channel this year, so I don't understand why you're so upset about 20,000 Afghanis. But
it turns out to be about 200,000.
Right, yeah. So, well, yeah,
but it's still they were initially porting like 36. And it's like, oh, I guess a drop in the ocean.
I guess the difference is that they kept it secret. I suppose that first of all they kept it secret, and then second of all, for some reason it cost $7 billion, and I'm just like, well, what the fuck? How did that cost? How much do these airplane tickets cost? Like $7 billion? Like I don't get it.
But they also get houses and all the money they need to live for themselves, have a comfortable life, just give it to them.
So they've had an extra special treatment, I suppose, more than the other asylum seekers. Yeah. Right.
And I hate that you got some of these just gays saying how, oh, well, they helped us fight, so they helped us against the fight with the Taliban, so we've got to look after our allies. No. They were mercenaries. We just paid them. We offered them, hey, any interpreters, we will pay you. And we did that. We paid them for the job. That's it. That's done. Life forever paid for in Britain was never a part of the deal.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this, because there is a warrior's code, but has anybody proved
they weren't fighting?
But has anybody proved that the Taliban's been killing these people? I mean, this is what I've been saying.
No, the Taliban knew about all these people. They said, oh no, we knew about all these people. We didn't care. It wasn't in the Taliban when they took back power. It wasn't in their interest to just go around killing everyone who had anything to do with the NATO forces. It's just, there's too many. Yeah. It's not worth it. They've won. Who are these low-level collaborators? They're nothing. They're just mercenaries. They were just taking money, whatever. So they didn't care. So none of these people were in any danger anyway.
Yeah, well, this is just like a point I've been making, because I've been talking to Tharium about this in the background, but it's just like, we live in the age of the internet, and for some reason, you got all these journalists. For some reason, nobody can just phone up the Taliban and talk to them. It's like they're just like these mountain savages that are incapable of doing a WhatsApp phone call or whatever like that. I mean, they are running a country now. They are the government of Afghanistan now. Why hasn't any journalist in England phoned them up, asked them, talked to the people in Afghanistan, said, what's the situation there? Have any of these people been killed? If so, how many? What does the Taliban intend to do with the people? Have they made a declaration that they're hunting these people? Is there a cover-up? Is there some kind of genocide going on? We don't know. Has anybody looked into it? It's just like there's this background assumption that's like Taliban evil mountain savages. We can't talk to them. We just have to rescue these people and bring over 200,000 of them to get them away from these evil mountain savages. It just seems to me very, very immature and just stupid and retarded.
can you play that video I posted in the chat? This
I
is
don't know because I'm having massive tech problems.
Well, we'll see if it works. This is a video that the Taliban recently put out.
Oh God,
it's fine. It won't get us banned or anything.
I'll try. Taliban news. Right. Okay. Right. Hang on. You better keep talking while I figure out how to do this. Like you have to fill now. You've asked me to do this. Share screen. Stop screen. Share screen. Taliban news. Let me put this on full screen. Okay. Share. Fuck, things I do for you. You got the audio? I don't know.
We have one message from America. Yeah. Welcome to Afghanistan.
Yeah, this is the Taliban these days. It's like, hey, come have a holiday in Afghanistan with us.
Yeah. Well, this is Lord Miles that's kicked all this off, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's really paved the way. But yeah, they're probably, I don't know, you probably go there and hang out with them. It's probably okay. One positive thing I've heard about the Taliban, which I did not know, was that they actually, what did I say? I listened to this on a podcast recently, but they wanted to shut down the Bacha.
Yeah, they did. The Bacha stuff or Bacha.
Yeah. Bacha stuff. Yeah. So basically, if anybody doesn't know in the chat, but the Afghanis, they have a habit of just raping like 10-year-old boys.
Mm-hmm.
They make them dress up as girls and they make them dance and then they just anally rape them. And this is just all throughout the Afghani.
Yeah, it's a really old Afghan tradition.
Yeah, and the Taliban were against it, and they were shutting it down. I mean, there's a whole thing where like British soldiers, American soldiers that obviously been in Afghanistan, and they would hear the screams. They would hear these young boys just crying in the night because they're getting raped by the Afghanis. And they would talk to their superior officers about it, and the officers would say, "Well, no, we can't interfere. It's their culture."
They didn't want to cause trouble. And this is on like our bases, like NATO military bases. They got these Afghans who we've imported because they're such great people. We're like bringing in boys to rape.
Yeah, we're bringing in men who like to rape 10-year-old boys. Yeah. That's what we're bringing in. These are the £7 billion, right, to invite 200,000 Afghanis, many of whom like to have sex with young boys, right? This is it's just absurd. And the hypocrisy of it, because you've got it's like on the one hand, oh no, we can't do anything about the Bacha stuff, but we are going to teach feminism, right? We'll interfere in their culture in that way. We'll piss them off in that way. But we'll culturally interfere with them in that way, but we're not going to stop them from raping young boys. It's just absurd.
And do you see I mentioned the USAIDs earlier? The Rory Stewart, that old politician, the really weedy guy. He does a podcast now
with Alistair Campbell. Yeah. And Dominic Cummings is always making fun of that. Yeah. Was he call him Rory
Stewart? Oh
no, he's got a nickname for him. Like Rory's Kamala's definitely going to win. Easy.
Oh yeah, he banned that. But his wife was getting paid millions of dollars through USAIDs to teach modern art classes to Afghan girls.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah. It's just fucking like these people are just fucking retarded. But yeah. And a lot of that's been shut down now because of Musk. So there you go. But so we got the Afghani thing. We've got the Epping
The,
thing. This is positive.
there was
On
the
the negative side, well, the Afghani things are negative, but
Yeah.
the Epping stories are positive. On the negative side, we've got this.
I was going to say on the Epping thing. Also, there's that mosque that's being built in the Lake District. There's
Right,
been
okay.
protests against that as well.
Well, that's middle class people then, definitely, because Lake
Yeah.
District, that's a rich area.
Yeah, their MP for the area, she came out going, "How dare you, you filthy racists!" Of course, usual response.
Yeah,
But
well, I just think there's so many with the Boris wave.
Yeah.
There's nowhere left to run now. This is one of the problems we've had in this country for such a long time, is that white people, they don't want to be called racist, so they've just moved out of the cities. And I've complained about this many times because, you know, obviously in the West Country, it's very nice, very, very quaint, very white. And you get all these fucking dickheads coming in from London. They buy all the property, drive the price through the roof, so none of the locals can buy a property. They've got second homes. They rent them out Airbnb and all this shit. So the locals can't buy property. And you meet these people in the pubs, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've just come down. Yeah, it's so nice down here." And it's like, "Well, why is it nice?"
Yeah.
It's nice because it's not multicultural. And they'll look at you, they'll be horrified. They're like, oh no, I'm not a racist. It's like, you're not a fucking racist. Fuck off back to London then, you cunt. What the fuck are you doing here in Devon, ruining everything? But it's gone to the stage where there's really not. I mean, there's very few places left to run, to be honest with you. Like, you just they're coming in. They're everywhere. Like, just before this show, right, I went and got myself an energy drink, right, to put myself up for the show, right? This is my new favorite drink. It's only come out in the last few weeks. It's Relentless Guava, very nice taste, only £1, right? So I went to the local petrol station. I haven't been there for a while because it's been brought out by Indians. Right, all of the petrol stations in my local area have all been brought out by Indians in the last 2, 3, 4 years. I used to go in there. It used to be some nice old Devonshire lady behind the counter, and she'd be, "Oh, you're right, love," and you know, this kind of thing. And now I walk in there, it's a fucking Indian. These people, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, they can't just stay behind the counter. They've got like something in their head. They've always got to be in the back room, right? I don't know what it is. Like if you employ a white person and they work in a petrol station, they will sit at the counter so that when a customer comes in, they get served quickly. Or when somebody drives into the petrol station and, you know, obviously the thing goes ding, ding, and they've got to press the button to start the petrol, that they're there. For whatever reason, the Indians are incapable of this. They're always in the fucking back room. And then he comes out, he's looking at his phone, and I'm walking around the petrol station. There's the coffee machine's open. So he's halfway through servicing that, but hasn't finished it. You've got a shopping trolley full of stuff. He's stocking the shelves, but hasn't done it properly. And you've got the back doors, and the place is a filthy mess. It's fucking dirty, you know? And he's mooching around looking at his mobile phone. And it's just like, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just having a little rant. But the point is, like,
standards have fallen. That's what you're saying.
This fucking shit is everywhere now.
Yeah.
Right? It's in my nice white middle class town now. Okay. You cannot, there is nowhere left to run. It's in the fucking Lake District now. The fucking Lake District, a mega mosque in the Lake District. So the rich snobby snobs who have the money and they have the power and they've been to university and what have you, and they have more influence, let's be honest, than working class people. They can't run away from this anymore. They can't run away. They're going to have to grow a fucking spine and talk about it, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I saw an American responding to the Epping stuff in a tweet, going how now Americans, they like to a lot of Americans like to shit on Europe and stuff, saying how, oh, it's so cut and the stuff. Whenever the diversity moves to their area, all they do is they just move somewhere else, pack up the U-Haul. Like, they never fight, but they talk tough. but they've never done anything about the spreading diversity in America. Whereas in Europe, you're now seeing people going, no, we've got no one else now.
Yeah. Well,
but
yeah, I mean, Americans like to shit on England. I mean, that's kind of their thing. I don't know. I mean, they're making fun of us now because just to segue, they're making fun of us now because now it's, oi, do you have a license for that wank? Right. This is the new. This is the new.
Last thing on the hotels, though, of course.
Yeah.
We can shut down the hotels. That doesn't mean these people are gone, though. They're just going to be trying to move them into homes and stuff. So you know, the fight is still going. There was in Northern Ireland, there was a home that was earmarked for having a bunch of foreigners moved into, and unfortunately, it caught fire. Real shame. It'd be terrible if that happened again to other such homes.
Yeah, yeah. It really worries me actually because, well, anyway, a lot of. I mean, this might really screw the middle classes. That all their second homes. Do you know what I mean? All their Airbnbs. I mean, these people are the scum of the earth. Like, if you're some rich cunt and you've got some home in some picturesque part of the country, and you're trying to rent it out on Airbnb, and apparently the market's falling for Airbnb. I've never rented one, but I mean, apparently, like, you can't make as much money on it as you could before. What if the government pays you to put a refugee in there? Would you take the money? Well, probably a lot of them
do. Yeah,
they do it. They take the money.
Of course they would.
They're fucking scumbags.
Yeah, Serco was putting out a call for any like private landlords for rentals for the foreigners.
Yeah, boomer scumbags, innit? Boomer scumbags, the landlords.
And it's again, like you've seen some, like I think some of the politicians talking about, oh, we can't just have these ethnic ghettos in the cities. We've got to spread it out all over the place. Like, I prefer the ghettos.
Yeah,
at least keep them all contained in their little shitholes rather than just spreading it everywhere. Let us have some places of peace at least for now. But no. So I mean, that just spreading it everywhere is just going to, make things worse. Though. So,
well, the silver lining is if they spread it everywhere, like you say, there's nowhere left to run.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like the white middle classes who have the power, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you can't just go on holiday to some nice, seaside town or whatever it is, some nice little village somewhere, some nice quaint little village somewhere. You can't do that anymore because it's full of Pakistanis.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will just make them wake up. I hope. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, the way I feel about it. 2029, last chance, absolute last chance for this country. I used to say it was 2024. But absolute final, like 11:59 and 59 seconds to midnight.
Well, that's the last chance to do things through the ballot box. Maybe country's not over.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. We'll see. But I mean, I've always argued that if you can't get organized enough to build a political party and solve the problem in a political sense, then you're not going to be organized enough to start any kind of revolution. I mean, case in point, Ireland, the Irish had a political party before they had their revolution. They had Sinn Féin. They did organize politically, and they did push forward for independence. And so, in fact, they pushed forward for 100 years. It was a big issue throughout the entire Victorian period. They were talking about, we want our own parliament, blah, blah, blah. So they organized politically first, and then afterwards the violence followed.
But you also get stuff like Kosovo and Yugoslavia, where it's just the usual ethnic tensions because multiculturalism has never worked anywhere. And people just start killing each other.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, the way I feel about it, it's Rupert Lowe. It's all down to Rupert. I don't know. I'm sitting on the internet every day, literally every day, sending messages to Rupert saying, please start a party.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I just don't. It feels very much like he's the elephant in the room, but like not in a bad way. But it's just kind of like, there is a power vacuum. Everybody wants an alternative to reform because everybody knows that Nigel Farage is just absolutely useless. He's really just revealed himself to be a complete muppet.
He, of course, trotted out the whole with the Epping stuff. He goes, of course, there were a bunch of far-right thugs there. Oh, piss off, Nigel.
Yes, piss off, Nigel. Yeah,
wanker.
It's just, yeah, he's a wanker. He's a snob.
Like, yeah. Anyone slightly to the right of him is just far right, not welcome in society, awful, can't have them. That's his attitude.
Yeah, he's a snob.
Yeah.
So everybody wants an alternative. The positive thing is, first of all, we got him into Parliament. Like, I don't regret supporting Farage because by supporting Farage, we got Rupert Lowe and this other guy, James. What's his name?
Mac Murdoch.
Mac Murdoch, isn't it? Yeah, the younger guy who seems to be buddying up with Rupert now that he's been kicked out. So we got these two. So I don't regret supporting. If you're a drowning man, you grab a hold of anything that you can. And a year ago, Farage was our only hope, really. So I supported him and I voted for him, and I don't regret it at all. But now we've got something better. We can reach for that instead. So it's, I don't want to be too negative about it. We've had a great victory in that we got these people into Parliament. We've had a massive victory in that they've absolutely smashed it in the local elections. And because they've smashed it in the local elections, the whole country just kind of realizes that if there is a general election tomorrow, Farage is going to win it. So we now live in a situation where it's been proven, essentially, or as close to proving as you can, that a third party can break the uni-party grip, and that's how annoyed people are. So it's there. The throne is there to be taken. It's just that unfortunately Farage is really not the guy to do it. The guy that can do it is Rupert. But for whatever reason, he has not built a political party. He's not. Maybe he doesn't believe he can do it. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, he's rich, but maybe you need a lot more money to start a party. Maybe he's faffing around. I don't know what the reason is. But what I want to see happen is I want to see him build a party, him and James McMurdoch, and I want to see him smash reform in the local elections next year. And I think a lot of people that are in the Reform Party, councillors in the Reform Party and members will join forces with Rupert Lowe if he does it. I think they'll rally behind him. And I want to see him smash. I want to see him win in the council elections next year, rally the internet right behind him, and then he'll basically be prime minister in waiting instead of Farage. That's what I want. That's what pretty much everybody on the internet wants. And there's I don't know, it's just like we're in this weird limbo again where we're just sitting there waiting for him to make his move. And for whatever reason, he hasn't made his move. He seems to be biding his time. And it's just like, mate, we need strong leadership. We just need you to be our Enoch Powell. We just need you to just do this. Like let's okay, maybe you wanted to spend some time talking to people behind the scenes and gathering forces. Okay, I mean, well, fine, we'll wait, but it's been 6 months now, or nearly 6 months, and we really just want you to do this, and we want strong leadership. We don't need another talking shop. We don't need Restore Britain. There's only one issue, and it's immigration. That's it. We all know what needs to be done to fix the country. I mean, I understand he fell out with Reform because he was annoyed that Farage didn't have any policy. So I guess that's why he's built this new thing, because it's a policy thing. It's like, okay, I mean, I understand it, but we just need a strong leader that we can follow. For whatever reason, he's not stood up, and nobody else can stand up until he does it. You've had to, I mean, I'm not a fan of Ben Habib. I don't want to lead a guy whose second name is Habib, but for whatever reason, I'd rather follow David Curtin, to be honest with you, because at least he's been around for years, and he's a based black guy. I'd follow that. I'd rather follow that guy. But for whatever reason, people on the internet like him, and he started a political party, which has obviously just gone nowhere. Nobody can do anything. Nobody else can form a political party while Rupert Lowe is sitting there as an MP in Parliament. We're just forced into this situation where we just have to wait for Rupert to act. But for whatever reason, he's not doing it. So that's where we are now. That's my rant.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it is interesting if he might be like, there's the possibility he's like thinking of like a Tory takeover.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, because if he took over the Tory party, that gives him all of their infrastructure that they've already got built up, they can work from. And but he would have to purge like nearly all of it. And he has said that. I think he said like about like 80% of the Tory current MPs need to go, which, yeah. It's interesting because Kemi Badenoch, she's going to be, I think she's got till November or something.
Yeah.
And then they can kick her out. But she just did a cabinet reshuffle, brought in James Cleverly, who's gay and like supports the Boris wave and stuff. And then,
is he actually gay? I didn't know that.
No, I don't think so. But I'm just using it in a derogatory slur.
Right. Useless. Yeah.
And then bunch of other people. I have no idea who they were. Although one of them I did see at some gay pride march with Keir Starmer, some little twinky gay guy. So it's brilliant. So they just brought in like all the worst that you could possibly have in this reshuffle, and. Yeah. I'm just wondering what the plan is with like the people behind the scenes in the Tory party. What is the plan with this? Is it just to like kill the party, like just fully kill the party, make sure it dies, or is it, we're going to get all the shit like together and then we'll have Rupert come in and purge it or something?
Well, I think they just live in their bubble and they don't. That's it. That's the way they think. That's the way they are. They are essentially liberal Democrats, and they're locked in, and they're stupid, and that's it. They're like Rory Stewart. They don't think they've done anything wrong. They're incapable of understanding that they've done anything wrong. They're just ideologically driven, just like the Labour Party. So, I think that's what's going on with the Kemi Badenoch shuffle. But yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I mean, I'm probably not seeing it because I've got my heart set on Rupert creating his own party. But you're probably right. He's angling towards joining the Tories, and it'll be him and Jenrick, I suppose. Yeah. And they'll do a purge, and it'll be him and Jenrick, and that'll be it. Yeah.
Because like the Tory brand is dead, but like the ship of Theseus, if you just clear out all the old, bring in the new, then it's not really the same Tory party anymore.
Yeah.
And Reform make the mistake at the moment. They're making the mistake of thinking they're popular. They're not. It's just everyone hates everyone else so much. Like I've heard from some person who's been in reform since like the beginning. Really, he's done a lot of stuff for them, a lot of campaigning, and he says that there's a lot of people in reform, in these various levels, who are just keeping their heads down because they know Mohammed Yusuf is just on the lookout to purge anyone who is a bit too far right for him. So there's a lot of there's like a lot of dissent in reform, and they just seem to like Mohammed Yusuf, who I think is just the rotten center of it, really. And he just seems to be. He always talks about how we've got such elite talent in reform. I haven't seen it. He always says this. Every councillor I've seen has just been a dribbling retard. He's like trying to remember the scripts that they've been given to read.
Yeah. Well, they haven't even managed to get Dominic Cummings on board, and Dominic Cummings was quite open in his support in the beginning, and now he's pulled back. Yeah, Matt Goodwin's pulled back. They had this thing with what's her name's husband, the Indian girl.
Oh yeah, Braverman, Suella Braverman.
Yeah, so they start slagging off Suella Braverman. So he's left. Yeah. I mean, it's literally just. I mean, I don't want to be too conspiracy theorist, but it just really does look like MI5. You know, if you want to control the opposition, lead the opposition, a classic, like, establish yourself as the leader and then purge any kind of competent people from the organization that you've created, and occupy that space and just make it all bullshit, make it all shit. It reminds me of the alt-right. It reminds me of Richard Spencer. I've got to be honest with you, because Trump appeared, massive explosion of people talking on the internet, the alt-right, blah, 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 blah. Richard Spencer was essentially the leader. And what did he do in that leadership position? Well, he just spunked it all up the wall. You know, he faffed it all up. He never wrote a book. He never, like, he took a whole bunch of money off people to do the university tour. Then he didn't do that. It was just like mistake after mistake after mistake, arguing with people, getting in some stupid confusion about optics and about this, that, and the other, screwing people over out of their money, being a total asshole. And it's like, once the energy, political energy, is kind of like worn itself out, and then he just kind of like disappears, and now he's just like some random internet commentator. But it seems to me to be a classic controlled opposition way of dealing things, because these things happen in waves. It's political energy. It's like the ocean, you know, it swells up and then it comes back down again. So you have a swelling. You make sure your guy is sitting on top of it, and you make sure he just faffs it all up.
But, I mean, Yusuf is he's an odd fellow, because he just came from nowhere, and then with just £200,000, which is nothing, and he buys his way in, and he gets, and Farage gives him half of the stakes in Reform, half of the shares in Reform for 200,000. Like, why this guy from nowhere just comes in? It doesn't make sense. And his background is like, it's not great. So he works at Goldman Sachs for a bit, and then he set up this concierge company called Velocity Black. Basically, that was just doing parties and organizing private jets for rich people. And these parties, of course, they had models flown into these parties. What do you think these models were there for? So it sounds all a bit like a prostitution ring. And
is that what he used to do? Really?
Yeah, and then he sold this company to one of the big American banks a few years ago. But yeah, it's like, you know, you're setting up parties for rich people, flying in models. I mean, it sounds like an elite prostitution ring to me.
Sounds like Epstein Island, doesn't it? You know,
yeah,
grimy, doesn't it?
I mean, he was also living in London, which we found out is like the worst of the grooming gang cover-ups. We're sort of finding that out now. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Wouldn't want to insinuate anything. And like, they found out, and BBC spoke to some old, some colleagues, some of the people he had working for him at Velocity Black, and apparently, like, he was a bit of a sex pest for some of them. He bought a dog, and he'd bring the dog in and just let it shit all over the floor. It's typical Indian, right?
Oh, wow.
And it never cleaned it up. His flat apparently in London also stank of dog shit, because same thing.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it does seem to me, again, to come back to the cult angle. I mean, I've seen a similar thing with Nick Fuentes, and also with who's that other guy? Ex-Hollywood actor, plays the piano, plays the keyboard. He was really popular. He's an American guy, lives out in the countryside somewhere. Who would like? Can somebody in the chat remind me? But he had that, like, he used to do live streams all the time, and he played the keyboard, and he'd talk about, you know, he had his like little gang, his like little internet cult thing going on.
Oh, the bear guy or whatever.
The bear, yeah, Benjamin, yeah, that guy. So with both of these two groups, they had like an intense following, and it was very cult-like, and they'd kick out anybody that didn't conform, completely conform. I remember watching like the Benjamin guy. You like he'd see people in the chat. He'd like, no, you're banned. It was like he got a thrill out of it. You're like, you're banned. You're banned. And both of them invited like weird pedos into their group. Like Fuentes has got some weird dude that's like sending like I don't know, like chasing after young boys. Benjamin as well. They got some weird dude like doing some weird shit, and it's almost like. It's like you create this controlled opposition cult, and you assume a position of leadership, ban anybody that disagrees, and then you have a goblin, right? I don't know what else to call it, but you have a goblin, you have a fucking weirdo, right? And the fucking weirdo is somewhere he's the right-hand man of the leader. So Nick Fuentes, he's got a goblin, it's maybe right-hand man or just on the side. He's in the inner circle, you know, of the leader. And the goblin does weird shit, gets away with it. And the ordinary people, they look at this behavior and then they complain about it and they get kicked out of the group. And it's just like one way of like enforcing conformity or something like that, or just twisting the morale, or just fucking the whole group up. I'm not exactly sure about the psychology of how it works, but it's just something that I've seen.
I mean, with Mohammed Yusuf, one thing
in Benjamin, there it is. Yeah.
One of the things I noticed is any sort of video of him, any sort of thing, there's loads of people will be replying going, I just don't trust this guy.
Yeah.
And that's very much like, there's just something really off about him. Like he's got these like soulless, dead, creepy eyes and stuff. And like people will like dismiss vibes as just, oh, you're just a bigot or whatever. But these are finely tuned evolutionary survival instincts. Like people can generally, you don't know what it is, but it's just a whole sort of thing. All the senses can generally, like people can often pick up psychopaths and stuff. Just something's off about people. And Mohammed Yusuf, just lots of people all saying they just don't trust him. And of course, what he did when he came in, he just purged. He purged anyone who might have been a threat to him. Like he, who was that guy? Gawain Towler, who got rid of him, even though he'd been like with Nigel for years. And Nigel just is not a man who cares one bit about loyalty. Like loyalty should always be rewarded. Nigel doesn't care. He'll like, you could be as loyal as you want to him. He'll just get rid of you as soon as if you're not convenient.
Yeah, he's a cunt.
And and he just lets Yusuf come in and purge everyone. Like a bunch of the local branches will purge because, well, they weren't exactly on message.
Yeah, he's a cunt. He's a snob. It's not how open society should work. It's not how English liberalism should work. The whole point is that people talk to each other, and people should be allowed to have their opinions, and so on and so forth. But we've got this political elite now who just live in a bubble, and they just don't think people should be allowed to have an opinion. And Farage just isn't really any different. I mean, I complained about this back in the day. I just said, look, he's a snob. Like why doesn't he talk to the Lotus Eaters? Why doesn't he talk to all these different podcasts and live streams? We live in the age of the internet. We live in the age of Trump going on Joe Rogan, which I think was a really, really big deal, because like the 2016 election was very much the age of the meme and the age of social media. I mean, it seems amazing to look back at it now, but before 2016, people didn't realize the political power of Facebook, or they weren't talking about it openly. And people were shocked that people were using like, oh, Facebook and Twitter, they helped win the American election. I mean, what's going on here? Like, it was really a big deal. In a similar way, I think 2024, Trump going on Joe Rogan, it was, and Leo Thon and all these other podcasts. It's kind of brought the podcast out as one of the to the forefront as something which really shapes the political universe, because people want to hear the politician talk for a long period of time. They don't want this soundbite, controlled environment, mass media that we've had for so many years. They want to hear the politicians sit down for an hour and really kind of have a serious chit chat about these issues because they want to get a feeling for the politician. And so Trump going on that was a big deal. We live in the age of the podcast now. Farage isn't really playing the game. He went on Winston Marshall. He goes on GB. He goes on a few things, but he won't talk to the people. None of these snobby, stuck-up politicians will get off of their altars and talk to the people of this country in the age of the internet. It's absolutely intolerable. And this is what Farage is doing. He's a snob and he's stuck up. Reform is snobby and it's stuck up. It's not what I want. It doesn't make me feel like he cares about me and my opinions.
Yeah, I mean, Nigel said the other day he's to the left of where the general public are in immigration. Brilliant. What is the point of view then?
Yeah.
I mean, he's quite open about like containment. Yeah, again, also saying, I am the last chance to save this system and change it. Otherwise, you won't like what comes after me. I don't know, Nigel. I think I might like what comes after you, actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, because obviously I don't like the Nazi thing, right? And when he bragged about crushing the BNP, I was just like, well, you know, like I don't like all the Heil Hitler stuff, and so and I think those people were leading people up the garden path anyway. Yeah. So I didn't get too upset about it. And obviously, well, I don't know, like I just said like half an hour ago, like I'm not ashamed about us supporting him back in the day because he was our only hope and he's famous and he you know, he's a household name. And so I'm not ashamed of voting for him last year because by voting for him, we've got Rupert Lowe, and that's how the things played out. But it's just like now that we've got Rupert, we just do not need Nigel anymore. I think we're in this like midway section. We're in like this. There's a stepping stone over there, and Rupert's on it, and we want to step over and get onto the Rupert train, but the Rupert train has not left the station yet. It's still in the station. We don't know what he's doing, and so there you go. Yeah,
I feel like for when I first got on with like the reform stuff, because I was a reform supporter, it was like, well, hopefully we can drag them back towards our way. And I'm realizing, oh, that's not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening.
That's just not going to happen. They're going to get you it's just going to get you purged if you stick your head out. And their messaging has just been all over the place, which just says that they're just lying. When they say like on immigration, they seem to have taken every position, and so you can just like, okay, you're just lying. There's no, they're just clowns.
Yeah, they're clowns. I mean, look, if we had an election tomorrow, I'd vote for them. Just to smash the system a little bit. I mean, some change has got to be better than anything. But I think we're going to be heading towards. You're probably right. Rupert Lowe is going to join the Tories. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get rid of Kemi after November. She's got to be leader for a year. She's totally failed. Maybe that's peak Toryism, isn't it? Maybe, hopefully, that's peak Tory. It's like lose a general election because you put an Indian prime minister in charge with completely unchecked immigration. Double down on it by putting in a woke black woman in charge, and she totally faffs it up. And then maybe the Tories will actually finally learn their lesson. They'll put Jenrick in charge, and Jenrick will invite Rupert Lowe into the party, and that'll be it. They'll purge the party of the Lib Dems, and then maybe we'll have to vote for the Tories in 2029. And nobody on the internet's got. And then we'll have to face some difficult questions of accelerationism. You're going to have to deal with, you know, the academic agents of this world who are just going to be frothing at the mouth. Screaming about how we have to destroy the Tory party and so on and so forth. But I mean, I guess
he's actually on board with Lowe taking over the Tories.
Oh, he is now. Well, that's good then. Yeah, that's good. Oh, I haven't because I don't follow him. Oh, well, that's good then. Well, that's a change. Oh, that's really interesting. Wow. Maybe the dissident right's really growing up. What's going on? That's really confusing.
I know, right?
Like Tommy
I mean,
Robinson grows up, smartens up, realizes he shouldn't destroy a protest by gate crashing it, and the academic agents is getting on board with Rupert Lowe joining the Tories. What is going on?
Yeah. He is still saying like he would support Hezbollah instead, though, of reform. He just wants to burn down the system.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he does come from a Muslim country.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, his I mean, I don't begrudge anyone their ethnic hatreds, but his ethnic hatreds aren't mine.
Yeah. I guess he just feels the pull of the Palestinians or whatever.
Hezbollah Rencob is Jeremy Corbyn's new party.
Yeah.
It's currently he's calling it Your Party, and it's basically him and the Muslims, the independent Muslim MPs at the moment. And they're calling it Your Party, but they're going to have a vote on the actual party name. It's full on like Russian Revolution stuff. Like everything is going to need to be voted on with this lot.
Hang on, what do you mean? They're in support of referendums?
I mean, it's going to be it's going to be like the pointless bureaucracy, like like internal party voting. Like everything within the party is like, oh, do we?
Right,
like,
nobody accepts responsibility for anything. Yeah, I get it.
Like,
yeah, I just saw Dominic Cummings. I don't know if you saw. I've been getting into podcasts because I've got this new job and I can listen to podcasts all day long. But I recently watched the Dominic Cummings speech that he gave at the Pharaoh Society or something. But yeah, he was just making the point that the British government, somewhere along the line, they stopped accepting responsibility for things. Like the way naturally you'd think you'd run things is you put somebody in charge and they're responsible for it. But nowadays you have a committee and nobody's responsible for anything.
No. Yeah.
And so everything's shit, basically. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's the way to do it. Shall we go on? Sorry.
So the Hezbollah though, they do seem to be taking a big chunk out of Labour, according to polls. Because you can see like all the actual communists and Islamists currently voting Labour are going to go there instead.
Yeah. No,
so
it's very
good. That's good.
It's great. They'll split the vote. They'll split the left-wing vote. Yeah. So you'll have Lib Dems, Labour, and Hezbollah, basically, splitting the vote. And I guess SNP and maybe Plaid Camo as well, or whatever. And Tory resurgence, and it'll be a case of, well, Peter Hitchens was right. Peter Hitchens was right. Peter Hitchens and Brutus and SJJ. I think we talked about it before you came on the Anglo Gang, didn't it? That you came after the election.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah,
a couple of weeks after. Yeah. But me and SJJ, before Farage popped up, we were both saying just going to have to bite the bullet and vote Tory and all this zero vote thing is
I still think zero seats was the best policy because the Tories needed to be punished.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, it's a moot point now because it's impossible to prove either way. But nobody can win the argument. No. But I do. My counter argument would be to say that with MAGA in America, I think the Tory party would be a lot more malleable to reducing immigration and so on and so forth, because there are a lot of people in the Tories that like Trump and the MAGA movement and so on and so forth. But then again, voting for Rishi obviously would have given him a mandate and he'd be difficult to get rid of. And I don't know. I mean, it's impossible to prove either way. So shall we segue into Trump and Epstein? That's a hard segue, isn't it? But But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he screwed a 13-year-old? I mean, I think he did. I've got to be honest. It's a bit grubby and nasty. It's a bit dirty. It's a bit nasty. Nobody really wants to think about it. Everyone wants to kind of put their, oh God, oh, did it happen? Oh, but it was the 80s. Sexual morality back in those days was different.
Yeah.
He was friends with Epstein, and they were close friends. And we know that Trump has allegedly had sex with a prostitute called Stormy Daniels. And we know that Trump's essentially not been released the Epstein files, right? And Epstein was murdered under Trump was the president. So I don't really think, I don't know. Again, we've got to get into the murky, dirty, horrible subject of underage sex and underage prostitution, which is a bit nasty. I don't really see Trump as being like a pedo, like
10-year-olds.
Yeah, 10-year-olds, not, Muhammad with Aisha and the 9-year-olds. I don't see him being like that at all. I don't think he's into human sacrifice and this adrenochrome and the whole pizza, like the Pizzagate stuff is horrific. Oh God. I mean, I was talking to Last Terran about it. I watched the Tucker Carlson live stream where he had that Darryl Cooper on, and then we're going really into the Epstein thing and everything that he's been involved in, his history. He was involved in Iran-Contra, for example, and somehow or other they drifted into talking about Pizzagate, and they started talking about John Podesta and Tony Podesta, and the Tony Podesta art collection, which I'm sure you've probably seen, you've heard of, maybe you haven't, but he's got pictures by this artist Kim Noble.
Is that like the really like demonic weird stuff?
So
there's the one who like paints with period blood and stuff.
There's a whole series of them. There's a Abramovich, I forget her name. There's one like a picture of like a bunch of children, and they're tied up on a wall, and they're all wearing red shoes. Stuff, I think red shoes is some kind of pedophile symbol. I'm not really sure. It was in like the Pope wears red shoes sometimes, and you have not Alice in Wonderland, the other one, Wizard of Oz. She wears red shoes. She doesn't wear red shoes in the original book, but they make her wear red shoes. Obviously, she's a girl alone in a foreign land. So I think it's some kind of pedophile symbol. The worst thing is that he collects pictures of a lady called, I think it's Kim Noble. She was abused when she was a child, and she was so severely abused that she suffered from multiple personality disorder. Because what happens if you suffer extreme abuse, your brain kind of shuts down and your mind fragments into different personalities. So she suffers from this. And one of the personalities, she paints pictures of the abuse. So she's painting like really not detailed pictures, but really badly drawn, like a 5-year-old drew it, pictures of like a girl like tied to a bed and people standing around her, and they're like, why fucking weird, nasty shit. And Tony Podesta collects these pictures, and they're in his fucking house in Washington, and he is one of the biggest, most powerful donors to the Democrat Party in Washington. He's like big. He's a big guy. And they were talking about this, Tucker Carlson and this historian guy. And Tucker was just sitting there and he was just shaking his head. He's like, I know, I was in Washington at the time. And he was just saying that like people would look in the other direction and just say, oh, this is just some weird, like bohemian stuff. They just like, I don't know, like you put the scales in your eyes and you pretend you're not seeing what you're actually seeing, I was getting like shivers up my spine. Seriously, I was getting like feeling tingles on the back of my neck. I'm feeling it a little bit now, even when I talk about it. Like, it's just like this stuff is fucking dynamite. Like, these people are fucking pedos and they're raping children for sure. in the Democrat Party, James Alefantis, Comet Pizza. This is some dark, nasty shit, and it's got to come out. And people are focusing a lot on the Epstein stuff. I don't think Epstein was, I mean, I don't know. I've got no idea what's actually going on in the island. It seems to me like the Epstein stuff was like a bog standard kind of underage prostitution ring. Maybe they were.
You think he was more sort of the introduction level?
Yeah, yeah, introduction level sex ring nastiness. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's got that temple on his island. Maybe they were murdering kids. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like. I guess what I'm trying to say is like all of this is really bad, but I think the Pizzagate John Podesta stuff is fucking 10 times worse. That's like murdering kids for their adrenochrome type nastiness. And I do not think that Trump did any of that. But would Donald Trump have sex with a 14-year-old or 15-year-old prostitute in New York back in the 80s or the 90s? Well, I don't know. Especially
like if like what it seems like everyone, like all of the elite in America were doing it, doing it still, you know. I mean, this whole Epstein stuff, wow, I mean, they've handled that so badly.
They
come out and they can't get their story straight because they come out, there is no client list, and he killed himself. Really? And now there's and then they're sort of, well, we're talking to people. Then they're thinking of giving Ghislaine Maxwell immunity. What? Yeah. Like, and her, like a whole story with her, like, okay, so she, because there was a list with her in her trial.
Well, the thing is,
the judge said with her trial, oh no, I can't reveal like the people involved. That would be, it's not in the public interest. I think it is. And but where was that?
So they've already got the list. I mean, she's a sex trafficker. Right? So she's brought human beings and sold them to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So they must know who she sold them to.
Yeah.
So why do you need to give her, what's the word, amnesty, immunity, whatever, a pardon? Why do you need to give her a pardon? Because you've already got the list. The only reason you want to give her a pardon is because you wanted to give a fake story and pretend that Trump isn't involved. And that seems to me what they're angling for. They know this thing is good. They've tried to bury it. They can't bury it. Everyone's fucking pissed off. They know they're going to lose in the midterms. They're going to lose the House, the lower and the upper house or whatever. So Trump will just be a lame duck president. They don't want this to happen. They know they've got to release the Epstein list. And so they're angling to release the list and Trump's not in it, and somebody's going to have to take the fall. They've probably got all these fucking elite pedos, and they're in the background, and they're scratching their heads, and they're like, okay, sorry, somebody's got to go to jail for this, or maybe they probably even won't go to jail. It'll just be like they've damaged their reputation or whatever. There'll be a court case, and they'll drag it on for years or whatever. You know, none of these people ever go to jail, but somebody's going to have to take the fall for it, and it's going to come out. We got to give something to the crowd, and they don't want Trump to be in it, so they're going to try and angle it so the list comes out, but Trump isn't in it, and then they're just going to move on and memory hold it. That's what they're aiming for, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's I can't believe anything, whatever they come out with next, after how they've acted, the Trump regime. I can't believe anything they come out with. It's going to be bullshit. Of course it is. Why have you been so funny about it? Like, what? You know, even if it's right, I know it's gonna. It's not gonna be all of it.
Yeah.
So they just handled everything so bad, and it's one of the things I found quite galling. Also, is all these sort of Democrat mainstream media are really pushing on this, like this whole like Trump Epstein thing, when for 4 years, all through Biden's presidency, they were saying, anyone talking about Epstein, crazy conspiracy theorist, nothing there, you're all nutters. But now they have the gall. No, they've won. They know they've won. Like the pedo ring, they've won. They've beaten Trump. They're sort of bringing out, just rubbing it in his face. Bold.
It's going to be really bad, because you think about it, for years they've banged on Trump is Adolf Hitler, right? and we've managed to basically defeat that now. Trump has been rehabilitated. He got kicked out of office, came back. There was a big high back in January. Yay, we've won. It feels like the woke is dead. It feels like we've all been vindicated. It feels like a new country, a new beginning. The MAGA movement has won, and now it turns out Trump's a pedo, right? And so now the whole left wing is just going to be like, your fucking hero, right? That you've been rallying behind for a decade. Oh yeah, he fucked a 14-year-old. Yeah. He fucked a 14-year-old. You people on the right are all a bunch of fucking pedos, and oh my god, like it's just, and you covered it up, and you defended it, right? And I was just fuck, like never mind the fact, by the way. Let's just never mind the fact that the Mexicans are pedos. The age of consent in Mexico is
12 or something.
Was it 12?
12 or 13, one of them, yeah.
So the age of consent in Mexico is 12 or 13. You've got mass human trafficking coming across the border. Trump's actually closed the border now, at least to Mexico. Now they're coming in down through Canada instead. I watched the border czar. What's his name? Tom Holsworth?
Holman,
big fucking bulky fucking guy. Like I trust this guy. I've got a good instinct for him. I think he's a good guy. But he says the border with Mexico is more secure than it's ever been, and I believe him, right? So they've done a lot to stop this human trafficking, but the Mexicans are bringing in child prostitutes into America. So never mind all of that. Never mind the fact that Trump's been fixing all of that problem. They'll just call him. If it comes out and Trump's a pedo, fuck, man, fuck, we're never going to hear the end of it. They'll just tie it like a rock around the neck of MAGA. Yeah, essentially.
I mean, and he's not looking good. Like I've seen some from the Trump cult, like trying to say it's all 5D chess. It's not looking like that. This isn't very. I don't see 5D chess in this. He's like any day he's gonna get them all. He's looking quite guilty, I think.
Yeah, he looks quite guilty. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like, oh god, I don't know what to say with it. I mean, like, look, I'm in my 40s. I grew up in the 90s. And I will just say that attitudes back then were just different. There was a famous movie that came out in the 90s called Trainspotting. You've seen this movie?
Yeah.
It's still I don't know, because like I talk to young people, I don't even know what they've like. It seems like they haven't watched any of the movies that I've watched. But Trainspotting came out in the 90s. You've got that smackhead guy, Renton, isn't it? He has sex with a schoolgirl in the movie, right? Like this famous scene, he meets her in the nightclub, goes back home with her, has sex. You see like they're naked in the bed. They film it, right? Which I just don't think you do that these days. I don't think anybody would put that on a movie. I just don't think you get away with it. But they film this, and then she kicks him out, and he's got to sleep in the corridor. And then, like famously, like he wakes up in the morning, and he's having breakfast with these two people, and he says, "Oh, so are you her flatmates?" And they're looking at him, and then she walks into the room in her school uniform, and he's like, "Oh my god, like what?" But this came out, and that nobody was freaking out and saying this is pedophilia in the 90s. They were just like, this is just a bit grubby and dirty. Like the attitude was completely different. If they made the movie these days, everybody would be tearing the hair out and saying it's pedophilia. Right. Another example, a movie that came out late 80s or 90s, not as famous as Trainspotting. It's a movie. I remember seeing this on the TV, like when I was a teenager, thinking, what the fuck is going on? It's a movie called Rita, Bob and Sue. It's a classic kitchen sink English movie. It's about a guy he must be in his 30s, early 30s. He hires two babysitters, schoolgirls, to babysit his child, and he has sex with them, right? And and it's amazing to watch, because in the end the wife finds out, and there's this one scene in the movie. She goes up to this girl where she lives, her house, and they start having a screaming match right in the middle of the street, and like the neighbors are opening their windows and they're looking and all that. And she starts calling this girl a slut. And she starts saying, "Oh, you took of course, my husband, he's a red-blooded male. Of course he's going to have it with you if you offer it to him," and this kind of thing, you know. And I'm just thinking,
oh, that's a different time, isn't it?
your fucking husband just fucked a schoolgirl. Like,
Yeah.
You're not even shy about it. You're calling the schoolgirl a slut for tempting your husband. Like, what the holy fucking shit? It's a completely different age and a completely different way of looking at things, right? And nowadays you would never make a movie like that. Nowadays people would be like shocked, and the attitude has all completely changed. So I mean, now you never would have called a man like that a pedo. You just never would have said.
No.
But nowadays you would call him a pedo. So just to finish my point, attitudes were different in that time. So can I believe that Trump banged a 15 or a 16-year-old girl in the 80s? Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, I fucking absolutely can believe he did that.
I mean, but the people making movies back then probably were actual pedophiles. Like you mentioned like you see because we see things like these little pedo symbols that they have within their own stuff. They keep popping up in like Disney movies and like kids' backpacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's another angle to it. I mean, I've one of the books which has blown my mind away in recent years is Alan McFarlane's Origins of English Individualism, right?
Yeah. And
he looks at the English race from an anthropological perspective, and he goes all the way back to the 13th century. And he talks about marriages. And basically he makes the point, we the English, we've always been individualistic, and we've been individualistic because we've always had the right to buy and sell land, essentially. So parents in a communal society like the ones that the Chinese or the Indians or whatever have had, you couldn't kick the children off the land. The children owned, like you have a commune, an extended family, and they would own the land. So the children had a right to the land, and the parents couldn't kick them out. In our society, parents could alienate their children. They could, say to their children, "You're not inheriting this," right? They had the right to. And this has changed everything, because it means you have a labor market. Young boys, they'd leave home at 14, they'd go and work, and you have a land market. And this is the real origin of capitalism, you see. And this is one of our greatest strengths. But because we've had this system, one of the things that happens in this system is that people get married later. Because in the old days, a boy would leave home at 14, work, and then he'd buy land, and then he'd get himself a wife at the age of like 24, 25, something like this. And the idea was that, no land, no wife, right? Mm-hmm. So in Anglo-Saxon culture, we have always had late marriages, essentially. And you can look at the church records. People getting married in their 20s, girls getting married in their 20s. And I think there's a big confusion about this in the right wing, to be honest with you, because a lot of people, obviously right wing traditionalists, people are looking back at medieval times, and the assumption is that, and I've had this assumption for myself. The assumption is, in medieval times, people got married younger, right? You had these young, like teenage virgin marriages. It's actually not true for Anglo-Saxon culture. It's true for other medieval cultures, the Chinese, the Indians, the Polish, maybe the French. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to look into it. But it's not true for English culture. In England, we've actually always been very, very prudish about this kind of thing.
It was the case for the royalty and nobility, but that's different. That was all about alliances. So,
well, this is the thing. That's it. You've nailed it. It's about wealth, and what's his name? Thomas Malthus. He talks about this. He says if you've got money, you can have young marriages. If you don't have money, you don't have a young marriage. And we see this played out in America. So when you take your average Anglo-Saxon peasant, you put him in America, all of a sudden there's an abundance of land. And so you have a return to very young marriages. Like in some cases, people are marrying 14-year-olds. And I've seen this in movies. I mean, you can see this in True Grit, where, well, you don't see a marriage, but the girl in True Grit is very young. You know the movie I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's and there's the scene with Matt Damon, and like he walks into the room where she's sleeping. He's like, "Oh, I was going to steal a kiss from you," and he's like a fully grown man. She's like fucking 12, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, but they had that attitude in that time, I suppose, because they had an abundance of land. And if you
America also had this sort of the religious nutters all went over there, who sort of, I think that changed things a bit as well.
Yeah,
like they sort of view is God has demanded that we have 1 million kids, sort of attitude, and like you get a few of these like cults and Mormonism and all that sort of pop up.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't really know what the point is I'm making here. Or I guess the overarching point is that sexual attitudes have changed throughout history. Anglo-Saxons have always been quite prudish, but at the same time, I mean, the age of consent in England was, I think it was 13 in the Victorian age. At the end of the Victorian age, it got raised to 16. And that's because of this. It's been a while since I read about it, but there was a huge scandal. It was like the Rotherham of the day, or the Epstein file of the day. But essentially, you had a lot of prostitution in London, and people were buying young virgin prostitutes at the age of 13. And a journalist investigated this, and he brought a young girl, paid like £5 or whatever, you know, so he could have sex with this 13-year-old girl. And he wrote about it in the newspaper, and it caused national outrage. And so they raised the age of consent to 16. Funny enough, specifically to protect girls from prostitution. That was like why it was done. And now, of course, I don't know, man. All I can say is that sexual attitudes change over time. Things were different in the 90s. It wouldn't surprise me if Trump did it with a 15-year-old or whatever, especially if he's hanging out with Epstein all the time. But I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's as bad as Tony Podesta. I
think that's probably why there's the backlash, because there is all like the really nasty stuff going on as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a general backlash. No, all of this, just burn it all down.
Yeah, stop it all. Yeah. But I just think, like, I don't know. It's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, if Trump goes down, it's going to ruin the MAGA movement. And I don't know who's going to step in to take the, like,
Tucker Carlson, maybe.
Well, it's going to be the vice president. Does he have the balls?
Right. You mean like that? Yeah. Now, no. Yeah. JD Vance doesn't have it.
Does he have the balls and the charisma to hold the whole thing together? No. He's in bed, obviously, with the tech bros. I don't know, man. Like, Trump's doing a lot of good things. Like, I don't know. He's doing a lot of good things. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah. There's also the influence of the you-know-who's seems to be all over this a bit, because he's going because there's the portion of like people claiming to be MAGA saying, no, Epstein's nothing. Move on. Don't pay attention to this. And it's a bit suspicious. Like Ben Shapiro is in that lot.
Yeah. Well, I apparently there's a connection between Epstein and Netanyahu, but I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Well, I know the former prime minister before Netanyahu, he lived with Epstein for a while in New York. Like, stayed in his
yeah.
There's definitely seems to be some sort of Mossad connection there.
Yeah, there's definitely look, and also like you don't have to actually be like an official member of Mossad to work for Mossad.
Yeah.
This is certainly what happened with Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell was just one of those guys. He was. I mean, it's interesting if you watch the Tucker Carlson interview. Like they go into his story, but he had quite an interesting life. You know, born in Czechoslovakia, moved to France in the war, ended up fighting against the Germans. I ended up, you know, starting this newspaper business, money laundering. He was just kind of like international businessman with underworld connections, and the underworld has always been connected with spy networks. It's been like that since the beginning of time, and so he's just like a middleman, rich guy, helps out Mossad now and again. You know, talks to people, moves money around, this kind of thing. It doesn't mean he's actually like sworn an oath.
Obviously,
yes, and I think it's the same thing with Epstein. He just he's a money launderer. I mean, this is what this is another interesting point which has come out, which is that where's the money? He's a money launderer. So where's the money? It's like $1 billion has been taken. He was like, it's like $1 billion. Where did the money come from? Where was it going to? They always say follow the money, right? So I mean, this was actually like the sex stuff was probably secondary. Everybody's thinking like he was a big blackmail sex ring stuff. I think that stuff was secondary. I think Epstein's real job was his real expertise was just money laundering, but nobody seems to be following the money laundering story. So I don't know, man. It's all really grubby, isn't it?
I mean, the other idea is you know, Trump comes in with like Kash Patel and them and Dan Bongino, and they're told, look, the demons are real and we need to sacrifice children to them. So you can't tell anyone about that.
I just don't see it though. He doesn't look like that kind of pervy kind of guy. I do, like, I don't know. My vibe is just like he looks like a good guy. I just don't think Trump.
Yeah, no, but if I mean like all like if like all the Fortune 500 CEOs and stuff are wrapped up in this, the entire American economy could collapse if you revealed that all of these people need to go to jail. And is Trump going to pull that trigger? Is he gonna like just nuke the whole thing, even if he's not involved? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you need a mad lad like me. I wouldn't care. No, the child sacrifice will stop. But I don't think.
Well, I saw somebody else making this point in regard to Israel and Iran. You know, basically saying like if the whole of the Middle East blows up, it's just going to tank the dollar and crash the economy and this, that, and the other. And I wasn't too upset about Trump bombing Iran. To me, I didn't like it, but he seems to have cleaned the situation up, drop a few bombs, and they stopped fighting. Okay, you know, whatever. He didn't put boots on the ground.
Yeah,
that's what everyone's worried about. I don't really care. Like, do I really care about dropping bombs on Muslims in the Middle East? No. I do care about soldiers going in there and getting shot. You know, so I think he handled that quite well. There's another angle to this. I saw somebody on a podcast saying that I don't really know because I don't follow Israel that closely, but they say Bibi's going to go down. Like,
it's possible. He was facing a lot of corruption sort of stuff before he sort of kicked off his war with Gaza and things and everyone else. Like he recently started bombing Syria as well.
Yeah, he started a war.
Trying to ramp that up.
He's literally starting wars so he can stay in power.
Because that's his excuse. Like he always goes, "Oh, I can't deal with any of this corruption stuff now. I'm in the middle of fighting a war."
Yeah, it's quite a desperate thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean, Israel is torching their reputation internationally, completely burning it away. Like,
well, it would be in their interest to get rid of him because then they can just blame it all on Bibi.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a madman, but we did the right thing. We got him out of power, and now it's a new Israel, which is moral, good, and so on and so forth.
It's like you got like the recent stuff like you're bombing kids like lining up to get food. Really?
Yeah.
Like, what is the goal here? I mean, like the goal is obviously they want to exterminate all of Hamas, all of Gaza, all the Palestinians there. Which, like, yeah, the most annoying part about that is that all Israel really wants to do is just send them all into Europe. So they're now our problem to deal with.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't even care. Like if they just conquered Gaza and then sent them to Egypt, then what's
Egypt don't want them.
Well, they don't want them.
Egypt have a big, beautiful wall. But all our sodding politicians in Europe will go, oh, no, we will take them. I mean, France has already said that they're going to start accepting refugees from Gaza. Oh, for sod's sake. So they're just all going to come flooding into Europe.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's the plan. I heard Alex Jones mention, I've never seen anybody else say this, but I saw Alex Jones saying that apparently they've found oil off the coast of Gaza, and that's one of the reasons why they're kicking off. He reckons
Did they? Oh.
Yeah, like $1 trillion of oil just sitting in the med, you know.
Brilliant. Yeah. That yeah. Because Israel doesn't have its own oil.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, there usually seems to be like there's oil in the Donbass. Apparently, there's gas.
Yeah, it is
in the Donbass. Yeah. So part of the Russian-Ukraine thing is just the Russians getting the gas or the oil or whatever it is. People don't talk about that so much, but usually there's oil involved. I mean, they say there's oil in the what's the other region? Israel's conquered part of Syria, the Golan Heights.
Mm.
I don't know if it's true. I don't know, but yeah, there's generally oil involved. But maybe Bibi will go down. Maybe they'll find. I mean, one of the things that annoys me about the whole Gaza thing is like, why can't you just get it over and done with? Like, this is classic Sun Tzu, Art of War. If you're going to go to war, get it done quickly. Nobody likes a war that's dragged out for a long time.
Well, they want to just exterminate them all, but they also want to pretend they're the victims in all this, which is hard to do when you're completely exterminating everyone.
Yeah.
Like they always harking back to the Holocaust. It's like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah. Well, they should have just done it anyway. They should have just marched in there, conquered it. The war's finished. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got Hamas in there. I mean, partly, I guess they're just blinded by hatred, because the real thing to do would just be march in there, conquer it, kill all the flipping Hamas people, and then pacify the population and rule over them in the same way they do. Like, because they've got plenty of Muslims living in Israel still. That would have been
Israel's 70% Jewish.
Yeah, that would have been the sensible way to do it. Just keep them as a slave class. Yeah, Palestinian slave class. Like they be their servants and this kind of thing. That would have been the smart thing. But instead, they've got to do this genocidal maniac bullshit. And nobody would have cared. I don't think anybody would have cared if they'd have just occupied Gaza.
No.
Just send the troops in, kill the terrorists, occupy the territory, merge it back into Israel. They could even say, "Look, we're going to develop the economy or something like this," and we're bringing peace to Israel. And the whole international, maybe they would have said, "Oh," and then they would have gone, "Yeah, whatever," and moved on. But instead, they've got to go on this genocidal maniac purge, killing children and pissing everybody off, and it's just retarded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just dumb. It's bad politics.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem to be a case throughout history with the Jews, is that they get overconfident and then God punishes them.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the way everyone's turning against them, could well happen again.
Yeah. I mean, the younger generation is not buying into this Holocaust bullshit. They don't give a fuck about that, do they?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's left and right, like that are losing.
Yeah. Well, that's their playing card. I mean, their playing card for 2,000 years was Christianity, right? We'll hide behind that because we're God's chosen people.
Yeah.
We're the people of the Old Testament. Funnily enough, I'm not really reading much at the moment, but I'm getting stuck in Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. It's got Robin Hood in it. It's got Richard Lionheart in it. Very, very English book. It's got Cedric the Saxon in it, like this grumpy old Saxon man living in the forest somewhere complaining about the Normans. It's quite funny, and there's a Jew in it as well, you know. And but the Jews, it's probably why they've never turned it into a movie, even though it's like one of, you know, the most famous English books ever. This is probably the most English book ever written, right? So Walter Scott was incredibly popular all throughout the Victorian period. But anyway, the point I'm making is it's got a Jew in it, right? And the Jew's rich. And throughout the medieval, like, they like to complain that they were persecuted, and they are, and they're kind of treated badly in the book, but at the same time they're treated badly. They're rich as hell, you know, because they're the moneylenders. So throughout the medieval period, the Jews in Europe, occasionally they'd get pogromed, yeah, and they were kind of hated, yeah, but they also had a lot of money, like they had their monopoly, right? Because Christians conveniently passed laws which gave them a monopoly on the lending of money.
Yeah.
And what's the point I was making? No, I was just trying to make the point. Sorry, 2,000 years they've been hiding behind Christianity. Christianity's kind of died now.
Yeah.
And so in the post-war period, they've been hiding behind the Holocaust, and now that excuse is kind of wearing thin. So I don't know. I don't know what their next move is, to be honest with you.
I did see a piece from. Have you seen Rabbi Shmuley?
No.
That's a weirdo. He put out a piece saying how China should drop Iran and ally with Israel instead because of their China's shared history of suffering, just like the Jews. Like they said, like China, you had the rape of Nanking, we had the Holocaust, we're natural allies and stuff. So it's like trying to get China, maybe some of them trying to get China involved instead.
Well, they have a Chinese connection. I mean, it was what was his name? What was that Jewish diplomat called? Famous guy, died recently. Poxy, American Jew, foreign secretary guy, foreign politics. Because somebody in the chat remind me what the guy's name is. Died recently, but he worked with Nixon. He opened up China essentially.
Oh, Kissinger.
Yeah. Kissinger opened up China. He is to blame for, in part at least, a big part of the blame for the deindustrialization of America can be blamed on that guy.
Yeah,
he opened up China and started, you know, building all the factories in China and so on and so forth. And obviously there were Jews involved in communism. There are many photos of Jews. So I mean, they've been in there. They've been in China for some time, for sure, definitely. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to play the guilt trip on them, though. I just don't think the Chinese. I don't think they're going to fall for that bullshit, to be honest with you. They might. I mean, maybe that's the big shift, right? Maybe that's the big. People have been saying for a long time: collapse the American empire, and everything shifts towards China. China is the technocracy. China's got digital currency. China's got the social credit score. China, this, that, and the other. They're going to be the next superpower of the 21st century. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Seems like they're facing a massive population collapse. Because.
Oh, I mean, who isn't though?
Well, the Indians are doing all right. The Africans are doing all right.
Sure, but yeah.
You know.
But I mean, I mean, Indians have numbers, but they're not a civilization, a proper civilization.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the Indians have always been a conquered people, basically.
Well, only by the Muslims. They weren't conquered before that.
Yeah, but for a while, you know, then us.
And then us. Yeah, the Muslims and then us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're muddled through. They've been going for a long time. You know? They've been going for a long time.
Yeah, but they're not conquerors, though. That's the thing.
No, they're not conquerors. They don't have that kind of warrior spirit. But they are money makers, and they are sending their immigrants all across the world.
Yeah.
And their immigrants are having children.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just the weakest form of conquest they're trying at the moment. We'll just use your immigration policy and breed.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I know there's a lot of anger, but if you don't have children, your race is going to die out. You know, I don't know what to say. Like, white people need to start having kids. Like, can complain about those people over there having kids, but we gotta start making children. We gotta start making our own children. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's fun because Elon Musk he's been banging the drums about everyone needs to breed. We've got to breed lots. Like we need 10 billion people on Earth, and yet you've seen the AI grok stuff, the avatars that it's putting out, right?
No.
So the first one it's like so you've got your grok AI assistant, and it's this anime big titty goth girl waifu.
Oh, right.
And she can talk to you. She can even strip down to underwear if you're nice to her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you can have her or be all flirty with you and stuff.
Right.
Just like gonna just annihilate chances of guys going out meeting real women. And then so that's the guys finished. And then for the women, he's introducing different, so because you've got different personalities, they're introducing one for the women, which is this guy who Elon described as a mix between Edward Cullen, the vampire from Twilight, and the guy from 50 Shades of Grey. This is just you're just gonna finish off women with this. Like, this is all the dark fantasies, like both men and women are just going to be in this flirting with this AI. So you're not helping the birth rates with this, Elon.
Yeah, well, he's also bringing in all these is it HB1 or H1B? I always get them mixed up.
1B, I think.
H1B visa. You know, the whole of Silicon Valley is like 80% Indian now.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember. It was on Twitter. I retweeted it, but it's like scandalously insane. Like, it's literal brown tech takeover.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Elon's banging on about making white babies. Well, he's not helping the white tech bros of America make babies because he's not giving them any jobs. Yeah. You know, he's just replacing them with Indians. So I don't trust Elon at all. I never have. I mean, like, he said a few good things, and it's like, okay, but I wouldn't trust him at all.
No.
But as far as the AI thing, like, I don't know, you got they talked about this sometime. You got Her, wasn't it? Did you see the movie Her? They had it on Prime recently, and I thought, I'll rewatch that. And I couldn't watch it. I watched it for like 10 minutes. I was like, it's just too cringe.
That's the one where the guy falls in love with the robot, right?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with the robot. It's got Scarlett Anderson's voice, I think. And they have a masturbation scene. It's all dark, but you hear him. He's like, and she's like going in his ear, and it's like, wow, it's fucking grim. I only realized this is how innocent I am in regards to pornography, but it only just clicked recently that in Blade Runner, the girl is called Joy. And joy means, what does it mean? It means jerk off instruction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like a subgenre of pornography.
Oh, is this like stuff where like you got like a domineering woman telling you what to do or something?
Yeah, like stroke your cock. Oh, I love it. You know, this kind of thing. It's like, So that's what I've never seen anybody point. A lot of people have said a lot of things about Blade Runner. I've never had anybody point that out to me, and then I figured it out like a few months ago. I was like, oh, joy. Oh, that's what it means. Yeah, there you go. So there's the hologram AI, joy, jerk off instruction. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. I was watching. I've been watching a bit of Winston. What's he called? Chris Williamson. Have you seen this guy? I've been watching so many podcasts recently.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Williamson, the modern wisdom. This fucking guy, right? It's doing my fucking head in because he's so. I don't know. He's like likable because he's like friendly and like harmless.
Yeah.
But also so fucking naive at the same time. So sincere and so naive. It's just like, oh God. But he was having an interesting conversation with Louise Perry, and they were talking about why people aren't getting married and having kids. And it basically just boils down to the fact that the men don't have jobs. That's all it is. The women, most women want to get married and have kids, and they would get married and have kids in their 20s. There is a minority of very promiscuous women who are on their girl boss trip, but most Zoomer women would settle and have kids. They just can't because they can't find a man that they can settle down with, and they can't find a man that they can settle down with because no man's got a good job. And essentially that's what it boils down to.
Really. I think there's loads of things, really. People try to point problems. I think it's all sorts of different like societal problems. I think it's biological. Like there's just too many people, and like you see this in animals. If a population becomes overpopulated, they will start breeding less to preserve resources. It's just instinctual, and especially like these days, there's so many people around, especially like Britain and stuff. Just with all the immigrants and stuff coming in as well, and it's just so bad for your psyche. Like, you think, oh, things are bad, and I think that's just having a sort of a downwards effect on people's desire to have kids.
Yeah, it's the mouse utopia thing. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I worked in the job recently with a bunch of Zoomer girls.
Mm-hmm.
They all wanted boyfriends, and they were all just fed up with the men, basically. They didn't want to be running around screwing guys on dating apps.
Guys don't really. I think it's also been beaten out of guys to approach women.
Yeah,
like, that doesn't like a lot of women, like attractive women, complain about that now. How guys don't approach them.
Yeah, because because you get done for like nobody. You get called a weirdo. You know.
Yeah.
A weirdo, and you're creepy, and it's on social media. I mean, it's another interesting thing that Chris Williams said that because obviously he's got a history in the nightclub industry, and he said basically one of the reasons the Zoomer generation, they don't go to the pubs and they don't go to the nightclubs is because everyone's got a mobile phone, right? So back in the 90s, you could go out and get shit faced, right? Have a fucking great time, and then no one would remember it the next day, or maybe if they did remember it, whatever, it's just a story and you could deny it. But nowadays, you go out and get shit faced, you make a twat out of yourself, people are going to film it.
Someone's recording it, yeah.
Right?
Do you see the T app in America?
I saw this. I just saw this on 4chan. People are talking about it on 4chan. They're calling it teabagging. Like somebody's hacked it.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of women, and they're all. Oh, sorry, you tell the story.
Yeah, so T was this. It was really popular. I think it was the number one app in dating or something for a time. And basically, you had to submit your ID, your face, and stuff, prove that you're an actual woman. So it's only women allowed on, and on it they just post pictures of guys. And so you'd search your area for guys around, and then these women would just say if they were good or bad. And so these bitches could be making up any stories they want about these guys. There's no verifying any of this, and just really like just not great. And of course when the pictures got leaked, bunch of fat ugly bitches, of course. Yeah. And so how many of these were like one night stands with a guy who was well above them, but thought sod it, and then he never phoned her back. So she just goes, "Oh, what an arsehole," and just makes up all this stuff about him.
Well, yeah, it's the alpha widow.
Yeah,
it's what's his face? Homath talks about it again and again and again and again. It seems to be the point that he comes back to again and again and again. You've got this problem where you've got handsome men. They can easily sleep with mid women.
Yep.
And they do. And then those mid women, they just get it in their head that they can get the handsome guy because they think, well, I had this really handsome guy. And it's like, yeah, he just pumped you and dumped you.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually care about you. He just snapped you up like an easy meal. And now he's moved on to somebody else. And now you are just an alpha widow. You've had an alpha man and you're pining after him. And you think that your standard is up there, but actually it isn't, right? You can't capture that man. And so you got a whole generation of women just wasting their 20s. Yeah. Essentially just I
mean these mids and low mids are so gassed up these days.
Yeah.
By everyone, like by themselves, by all their other mids around them, say how beautiful they are, how perfect they are. You know, you deserve a 6.5 foot tall guy who's on 6 figures, and okay.
Yeah, there's an amazing lack of humility. There really is.
Whereas the guys, it's the attitudes. Well, you'd better have 6-pack abs. You better be earning 6 figures. You better be on all this crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what this. I don't know, man. I'm fucking old. I'm out of the dating market. I don't even know what to say about it. I'm in my 40s. It's just like I watch these videos, people talk, and like the years go by, and I watch these videos, and the more I just more and more I just start to think this has got nothing to do with me. Like this is a young man's problem. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think like in my personal interactions. I think you can overcome it if you meet the women in person. I think it's a computer problem.
Yeah.
Because the women that I meet in person, when I talk to them, they're quite flirty. They're quite friendly. They don't seem too stuck up. They seem to be happy that a bloke is. I mean, they'll flirt with me, and I'm a guy in the 40s. So I just think you're swiping on your phone, trying to find love on your phone. It's not going to work. You've got to meet people in person. And if you can meet people in person, then all of that internet shit goes out the window. And you can get yourself a girlfriend, and you can get yourself a boyfriend. That's the solution to it. But the problem is, of course, the younger generation, they don't like drinking. They're not going to the pubs. They're not going to the clubs. Apparently running is the thing. So there you go. Take up running. That would be my advice. But apparently like 1 in 5 Zoomers meet their girlfriend or their boyfriend in a running club or something. This is the big thing. So maybe do that, right?
Or if she can't outrun you, then she's yours. Return to monkey there.
Return to tradition.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a wholesome solution, right? It's not like going to the gym, because in the gym everyone's just nobody talks to you're out, you're jogging down the streets, you can have a bit of a chit chat, and I don't know, I guess they probably go to a cafe afterwards for a fruit juice or whatever. I don't know. Seems like the solution. But anyway, I don't know, it's the 2-hour mark. I really enjoyed this. This is really good fun. It's good fun to be back on the internet. I don't know, dude. I don't want to go for more than 2 hours. I can't talk for too long. I'm getting tired. But it's been really fun talking to you, man. It's been really fun. You got any announcements? You got any last things you want to say? Anything?
No, don't think so.
No.
We again, the fire rises.
The fire rises. Nobody knows where SJJ is, by the way, so nobody's asked. But I mean,
well, he posted a couple of tweets recently. One time when we were streaming before with the Anglo Gang, I remember him saying, investing in Palantir would be a good idea, and he posted a picture with his laptop on the side on the Palantir stock going to the moon. So I think he's done well from that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And then he also I think he's in California at the moment, watching a UFC match, because he posted a picture of the UFC stadium.
Banging. Good. Good for you, SJJ. I think it's the curse of SJJ Mass.
Yeah. Yes. He can only do that.
That's all he's going to do from now on.
Yeah.
We'll see him at Christmas, and he'll have a bunch of guests on, the same guests he had last year, and that'll be it. And then he'll just sort off for another year, another 11 months.
Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Enjoyed that. I'm going to go and have a beer. And yeah, good to see you, Tharium. Good to have a chit chat. Strange times we're living in. But as you say, the fire rises. I don't know, man. Like, stuff is happening. Feels like America's going to burn down with the Epstein things. Feels like our country's kicking off with all these protests. Feels like something's happening. Something good, hopefully. Something positive. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for watching. Winston Smith, God's Own Prototype, Finch. A lot of people in the chat. Sorry, I always apologize. I never really.
I might go join Iron Duke's stream, Splendid Isolation stream.
Are you going to go on it? Are you going to be?
Yeah, probably. I've been on the past couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, look at you networking. Yeah. Wow, Tharium the networker. All right, cool. Well, say hello to the Iron Duke for me. I hope he's doing well. And I guess everybody, if you want to continue watching some content, go and watch Splendid Isolation. What's he on now? Like, what's episode 150?
232.
Jesus, man, he really stuck with it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. That's what happens if a soldier goes on a mission, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he had a heart attack last year. Came back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Didn't stop him.
Didn't stop him. Yeah. Banging. All right, buddy. Well, catch you later then. Right. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night. Bush.